So taking your game to the next level with hybrid monetization. We will have on average 96% of users on mobile apps never spend any money on in-app purchases. This means that most of the users of your user are losing content on the app or losing successful experiences on your game. So learn with Google how to explore the hybrid monetization strategy, diversifying income streams. And this is an originally Portuguese panel, but you already know if you want to switch to English, just go to our link here on the channel. And with that, I'd like to invite our guest, Victoria Giovanetti. She's an account strategist up sales for Google. How you doing, Victoria? Hi, I'm doing well. How are you? It's really cool to see this amazing woman on screen. Now I'm really, really well. That's great. So, Victoria, you have the floor. Take it away. Hi, everyone. As she introduced me, I'm Victoria Giovanetti. I work at Google for apps monetization. And today we're going to talk about hybrid monetization. So what is it all about? This is a balance between ads revenue and in-app purchases revenue. So let's move on to the next slide here. This was a little bit of a spoiler on our data, but this is always shocking to me when we understand that 96% of users never spend money on in-app purchases. This means that the majority of users are going to be either losing content from your app or not being successful with your game, because when they hit that purchase barrier, they'll leave the app. So today we're going to quickly talk about this topic. It's a really cool topic, and understand how we can improve this conversion and increase your game LTV. So here we have a lot of information. The first important point here is that today revenue, when we look at overall revenue from the apps, 94% is from in-app purchases and 5%, almost 6% for ads, which is around $80 billion. So who are the developers who are actually nibbling this really large in-app purchases share from the total revenue, 94.2%. So unfortunately, only 1% of developers are actually able to get success with in-app purchases. This means that the other 99% of users or developers, will explore ads as monetization streams. So why is this so unbalanced? Today, what I want to show you is how we'd be able to explore the best of both worlds. How can we actually leverage the in-app purchases and at the same time bring in incremental revenue from the ads revenue? And this has been growing a lot. And by the end of 2021, the ads revenue is expected to reach 3 times as much, right? So why not compete in a space that still has a lot of room to grow, and it's much less concentrated when we compare it to in-app purchases. So a little bit more data about hybrid monetization. Last year, 34% of all the games with only IAP as the only form of monetization started using ads as well. So we know how difficult it is to convert users, to turn them into a paying customer in the apps, and the ads are a complementary strategy for monetization. So let's talk about numbers, revenue, and this is what really makes sense at the end of the day. So when we look at the ads revenue, it is 100% complementary to IAP. So thinking about an initial AAP of 0.05 US dollars, this is the average in the market. If we have an ads contribution of around 0.01 to 0.02, which is what we have, this would be 20 to 40% increase in revenue. So it is a lot. And this is all incremental. So In addition to the revenue, we also have a potential increase of conversion. So through different specific format for ads and also IAP conversion. And then I'm going to show you a video about that. So in the graph here, you can see this relationship of the incremental revenues through ads. So how can we better use different strategies to explore the revenue from ads? Do we need to follow the same strategies and have ads for all the users in the same way? No, absolutely not. This is something that we always talk about with our customers, and we talk about in Google, is to implement an increment for your user. So here is a regional segmentation divided into 3 regions, one with a low number of users, with insufficient traffic, so it's set to the side. Region B with an average revenue for average users actually kind of high, exclusively with IAP, and another region with low markdown where we actually don't have a high revenue for the active users. But there's a huge a huge volume of users. And this happens in regions like Latin America, Asia, where we have a huge volume of users who don't convert. And this is where we can test the ads as a strategy to add. So here we have the example of HeroCraft. This is the farm frenzy that started using ads as complementary strategy before they were IAP based only, and they had a revenue increase of almost 200%. So it's a lot. And when we look at the balance here, hybrid monetization is the combination of ads and IAP. And the ads now represent 40% of the total revenue for the company. So this really took up a very important space. Now, talking about LTV, what is this value? This is the average revenue by user multiplied by their engagement time with the game. So the higher the engagement and the higher revenue is the higher the LTV. How can we increase LTV? With in-app purchases, the more they spend, the more expensive the item, or through ads. And Game Time also can use some strategies to increase their engagement time. Like, for example, the awarded video. And here we can really see that users have purchasing behaviors that are totally different. So we have those users who can't really afford, can't really pay, that have never paid before, those who have paid before, that are not necessarily in your game, those who have bought some items in your game or games, or who have paid something inside this game. And we can see that the likelihood starts going down. The purchase availability goes down. So what is the percentage of daily active users that are actually in each of these purchase behavior models? So the lifetime value is much higher for those who actually have paid before, because they are converting and bringing value to your app. But unfortunately, the percentage in the last column fits into those 4% that we saw. So the goal here is increasing LTV throughout all the different purchase profiles for the user. So those 96% who cannot pay, they will convert in some other way. They're going to compensate you in some other way. So if they cannot pay for an item, if they can afford them, they might watch an ad and turn the LTV that was 0 before into a much higher value than before. And for those users who are already converting, you can have different strategies to actually increase conversion. So here we have the example of Boxing Star. They also had only IAP strategy before and started working with hybrid monetization, and they had amazing results, not only in terms of revenue, but you can also see the engagement time also increased. So how can we reach this type of performance? I'm coming to the end of my my presentation, unfortunately, talking about the awarded video. This is an ad format with a very clear strategy among the three main pillars. So we have users, the advertisers, and developers. For users, the user chooses to watch that ad. I chose to click and watch a 30-second video to win something inside that app, within the app. So it's an optional experience where I can see value for what I'm getting in return. For the developer, this is amazing because it's a format with the highest retention compared to other ad formats. And for the advertisers, they can reach very engaged users who chose to watch that video. So this is a classic example. Let me just show you the video. So I'm playing my game and lost my life. I died. So what happens? I have two options here. I either use my coins or I can watch a video to go back to the game where it stopped. So if I don't have any coins, if I'm a user who cannot afford the coins or buy the coins, I would simply just walk away from the game. And this awarded video gives me the possibility of interacting and increase my engagement with the game and stay in the game longer. Here we see another example that also from Jam City that grew 25%. So they have a video in exchange for feature. So you can boost the video before you even start the game. You can have an advantage to unblock items by watching the video. And there are different models of these awarded videos, from playable ads, vertical ads, videos talking about the brand, or videos that will take you to a store. There are different possibilities to explore what makes more sense for your game. And this is really an important point that you should consider when choosing the format. First thing you need to choose is a valuable item. So the user chose to watch a 30-second video. What will they get in return? That needs to make sense. That needs to make a lot of sense and be special and have a special correlation to the economy of the game. So that makes sense. And rewatchable means how much can he watch again or repeatedly? So I got some extra coins. I doubled my coins, but I'm not going to use all of my coins at the store. And then I can also watch more videos and get more coins. So compare that, have this relationship of something valuable and something that is rewatchable to increase their engagement. So, well, Vicky, what about the other formats? You have the interstitials, banners, native ads. We really have different ads where we can explore hybrid monetization. And here I have the awarded video here because this is the one that is mostly used for games, and it's where we can is what how we can actually improve retention and engagement because it reduces the purchase barrier for the user, because before they would just walk away from the game, and now they are still compensating the developer who was just losing the user before. So about the other formats, these are some other uh, banners, interstitials, natives. We have many different possibilities here for each design, for each game. We're able to explore a different type of ad format. And what's most important is to segment your users, your audience. They are not the same. They are in different regions with different specifics. They have purchasing behavior that is different. And here you always need to remember that and don't treat all users the same, be it with a different video or a different award or reward, or showing an interstitial. It's the full screen ad just for Brazilian users and not for US users because we have a higher tolerance for ads here. And you can do all of that, and you can use Firebase as a tool to do all of that and actually configure and set all of that up.
Finally, home stretch, real quick crash test on Firebase, the tool that I talked to you about, where you can track certain KPIs such as retention, duration of the session, ARPU, revenue per active user, and other metrics. You can use the AdMob front end. It's got all that ready. So within Firebase, you can use in several different ways, from the creation of the app itself to improve the quality of the app and Crashalytics, or growing with the app, analyzing all of the KPIs, A/B testing to see if it makes sense to bring an ad prediction where you can analyze, you run machine learning analyzing the behavior of your users without having to make any change in the app. So there are several possibilities with Firebase, and this is just an example of A/B testing. I want to test if the awarded video actually makes sense for my app. I can create a test where I have the control group with the current setting and another group with this new format of ads analyzing different KPIs. I brought some examples: user engagement, retention, revenue, deletion or deinstallation of the app. You can analyze several things. Our goal here is to test and see if that ad playing makes sense and if it's not going to affect negatively engagement and retention, which is the highest goal at the end of the day. So long story short, folks, this was a real quick presentation. I wanted to be here for over an hour talking to you if I could, about hybrid monetization, but I just wanted to wrap up saying that awarded ads bring uh, gains with advertising without harming your IAP gains, and especially retention. It's the opposite, actually. They improve those rates. And you can test that through A/B testing with Firebase. You can maximize impressions in eCPM through practices recommended by data analysis. Lots of stuff for you to analyze in the Firebase control panel. So what the best practices are for your specific app. Revenue with ads impact your business. They come to aggregate to ads. So especially when there's revenue with users, paying users that are low, and you can use predictions to watch metrics such as abandonment rate and creating an action plan using Firebase even before you have any issues with your users. So thank you so very much for being here. I hope you got a little, taste. I want some more of this, of the hybrid monetization, and we're good for questions now. Victoria, you're not the only one who wanted more time on this session. I would love to hear more about that. And we actually have a few questions from folks on the screen. Is there some kind of survey that correlates the number of ads with player retention? That is an excellent question. It shows up frequently, and there's no single answer because every app is a different app. Every game is a game. So I recommend for you to run in A/B testing or Firebase, where you can analyze for your app and your game the ideal optimal number of ads. So if you're talking about awarded videos, you could be able to test from the localization of the ad in game to see what the best award is for the user. So there's no cookie cutter recipe, there's no silver bullet. Every app is a different app. Do we have any more questions? Yes, we do indeed. How can the customer advertise within a game or client? So we break down between two major moments. Those who buy the ad, the advertisers, and the publishers, those who open space or room in their apps to receive ads. Today, I've been talking to you only about the second half, which is when you open room, when you have space to receive the ads. But there's this first moment of those who want to invest. I recommend you check the Google Apps website. It's really easy. Just put it on Google, and it shows up, and you will have more detailed information for you to truly be able to invest. It's darn easy. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you for being with us during this panel. Incredible. Thank you so much, and big time congrats. You folks at home who are watching us, Big Festival, send the web link to everyone, your friends, your family members. We've got a lot of cool content down the road, and this is just the beginning. And just send bigfestival.com.br. And, I know you're enjoying, you're having a good time. I know you are. So like us, like us, spread the word using the hashtags Big Festival 2021, hashtag Jogue no Big Festival. I'll be right back for the next panel. Take care.
Big Festival 2021, the biggest games festival in Latin America.